this way. What's up, world? It's the
Uh,
one and only Pop Deep, the primetime capper, and I'm here with Jahi Tucker, Queen's own. What's going on? How you doing today? How's everything going, brother?
I'm good, man. And I'm more from. I was born in Queens, but I was really raised out in Brooklyn, though. You feel me? I was really raised more in Brooklyn.
Okay, I was looking at the bio. They said Queens.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my
That's
bad,
all.
my bad, my
Nah,
bad. Brooklyn, and just getting James Harden.
chill, chill, chill.
Hey, but you got to be like my man Lamar Odom. You from both boroughs. You got to be like Lamar. You from both boroughs. Lamar claims Brooklyn and
That's
Queens.
that's a fact.
So
I
you
am from
got
both
two
boroughs.
boroughs
Yeah.
with you, man.
Word. And we got Long Island too.
Yeah, yeah. Born in Queens, raised in Brooklyn. Love it. That's a great
Word.
boxing story. You know that?
Yeah.
That's a great.
Great.
So tell the people about yourself real quick, Jai.
My name's Jahi Tucker. I'm 17 right now. Signed with Top Rank J Prince. Got 2 fights, 2 wins. My next fight coming up February 13th on ESPN Plus. Don't miss it. On the Joe Smith card, February 13th, ESPN Plus.
Okay, and I see that you started boxing at the young age of 7. What got you into boxing?
It's really just my dad, like one day we lived in Star City. Like I told you, I grew up in Brooklyn, so we lived in Star City. And we had first moved there. He was like, "Yo, it's a boxing gym around the corner. I'm gonna take you to the boxing gym." So we head to the boxing gym, and yeah, from there we train a little bit, we spar, and then all of a sudden, man, Coach Kenny he tells me, "Yo, kid, you could be real good one day. Yo, you wanna fight?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Okay, and so your first experience, how was it, man? Your first ever fight that you had to do, with the being an amateur and everything. How were your nerves going into that?
My first ever fight, or a sparring session, or a fight.
You it could be your first ever street fight, your first ever boxing match, whatever fight, whatever first fight you got to. How did you feel?
The first fight I ever got into, it was a little school fight. I was like, what, probably like 6'7", probably like 6'7", and like
Okay,
just fight, because I told you guys, like my dad, even before boxing, he always told me how to defend myself and stuff. So I was always able to do that. But my first like boxing fight, like I was like 8 years old, and man, I feel like I won that fight too. I didn't win that first fight. They didn't give me the decision. And what you
mm,
call it? And like I trained hard, I trained super hard for that fight, man. Like I felt like I won, and everybody in the arena felt like I won too. They was booing after they gave the decision and all that. But going into the fight though, I wasn't really that nervous, because at the time, it didn't really hit me what I was doing. I was just boxing. You get what I'm saying?
understood, understood. So when did you tell yourself this is gonna be my life's calling? When was that?
I was about 15 when I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. That's when I really like, because all the other times I was younger, I had my mind open to a lot of many other things. But when I was like 15, I was like, yeah, bro, this is how I'm gonna make my life, how I'm gonna make my earnings and stuff like that.
Okay, and so I see that you were that you got a good story too, because I saw that you had finished third place twice in those tournaments before you got to the big tournament and actually
Yeah,
turned it on and became the world champion. So pretty
yeah,
much, what was that experience like coming from being third place twice in a row, then winning the
yeah.
whole thing when it really mattered the most?
All right, so okay, let me give you a little backstory, because that has a little backstory to it. You feel me?
You got go ahead. We all
When I
ears.
was like I told you, when I was 15 is when I really started like saying, yeah, boxing is what I really want to do. And that's the year. So around that time, I was on for the first tournament that you see there, when I was third place. I had went on like a 7 fight. I went on like a 7 fight win streak, and I made it to nationals. You get what I'm trying to say? I had to win states, then I won the regionals, then I went to nationals. Um, I fought a tough kid from Texas. We had a good fight. Honestly, it was a close fight. I think he won though. You get what I'm trying to say? So I knew, I had to go back and work harder. So that whole summer, I worked super hard. Like I'm talking about every morning I'd wake up and run 10 miles by myself. Then I'd train by myself that whole summer. You get what I'm trying to say? Then after
Yep.
that, I went to Ohio. That's the second tournament, see, where I finished third place, and I didn't really lose that fight. And they didn't give me a decision. Like, So I already knew it to myself, like I'm really the best one here because I didn't lose that fight. So then when I made it to the big tournament, I just knew, yo, I can't come third place another time, you know. And then from there, we went overseas, and I said, yo, I made it all this way. I can't lose overseas either, you know. So then from there, I just took it from there.
I love it, love it. All right, so the whole experience, you were about to be you want to be an Olympiad. You probably
Mm-hmm.
would have been in the game. You would have been in the games this year. Not a problem. You would have been in the games if it didn't get canceled this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was it a hard decision to say, you know what, I'm 17 years old, I'm ready for pros, and not just wait another year to just be in the 2021 Olympics? What was your decision making in that?
My decision making was as really the improbability, and like the the randomness, because you never know what if there was another COVID spike. Like, God forbid there's another COVID spike in the next 2 months from now, right? And then they
Right,
cancel the Olympics again. Then you have to wait to 2022. You get what I'm trying to say?
right.
So from there, I just made my decision. I was like, yo, I know if I go pro, I'm gonna get fights because they had set up the bubble around that time, right before I got signed. They had set up the bubble, and I seen other big promotions setting up the bubble. I was like, yeah. And one more thing too is opportunities like that. When you got people like Jay Prince calling you and telling you, yo, man, I need to sign you. Hold up, you left?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, yeah. When
Don't
you got
worry
people
about the producers doing this thing. Just keep talking, brother.
like,
You
I
got it.
got you, I got you. My bad.
It's about
So
you,
you
not
got
me.
you guys guys like Jay you got guys like Jay Prince calling you, and telling you, yeah, man, yo, I need to sign you. I need to sign you. Or telling my father at least, yeah, I need to sign your son. So man, when stuff like that only happens once in a lifetime. So I just took it upon myself to sign.
That's and see and Jay Prince. You know who Jay Prince had early in his career as well too.
Floyd
Mr. Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather, and he went on the same courses. He was somewhat on the same path as you.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the Olympics, but this is when the Olympics was different, and when really you would be able to do maneuver a little bit better with the Olympics because it's a different ball game nowadays. But Floyd still is that's criminal what happened to him in the Olympics as well too. I don't know if you went ahead and watched that fight when that occurred, but he should be a gold medalist, not a bronze medalist. But
I remember that fight. I remember that fight, and even with the way how they was judging it too, they didn't
right.
they still didn't score. Like the last 30 seconds, he landed two big shots that should have got scored, and they didn't score them for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know that sucks because you know how
Right.
much work I just put in,
And there's a
especially
lot of
on the
people.
highest level.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's funny because I've been a fan since that time. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people they came around when it was Money Mayweather time and flashing the money and everything. But I like to see guys like yourself from day one, amateurs, and watch you grow. Because I've seen
Mm-hmm.
a lot of guys that came out and they were the big prospects, hottest thing on the streets, and then they get they block knocked off. Next thing you know, they're a journeyman. But you have to be different in this game. You know that as well too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every fight you get, everything you get, you got to stay a little humble. And that I felt like Floyd when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was one of the most humblest boxers that you could ever have. But when you have to play a character like he did when he got to Money Mayweather, it is what
Mm-hmm.
it is. The Benjamins be talking. We all know this.
That's a fact.
So
That's a fact. And
yeah,
one more thing too with Money Mayweather. Although he had to play his character, one thing that he did not let slip was his training and his focus on the sport. That's one thing he never let slip, and I feel like that's the biggest thing I've took from Floyd Mayweather. Never let
oh,
anything, no matter what you do, always know that box is the first.
right. And so how do you take training? I hear boxers all the time, man, I hate training, but I love knocking somebody out. Do you attack it like I got to do this today? I love to do this. How's your training
I just,
approach?
way I look at it as I'm from at school. Cause the way how I train like at least 9 hours a day. You get what I'm trying to say? We so
Right,
nobody really likes training. Like, of course you like to do what you gotta do, but like nobody really likes training. I just look at it like, yo, do you want to lose or you want to win?
right.
So I'd make a decision.
All right, all right. So Did you play any other sports other than before you got into before you committed yourself all the way to boxing?
I played basketball for a little bit, around like because I had stopped boxing when I was about 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from when I was about 12 to probably like 14, I played basketball for a little bit. But other than that, no.
Okay, so and I saw in your bio that you're a Lakers fan. So when did you become a Lakers fan? No.
I was a
Yeah,
Lakers fan. Look at me,
real
look at me, look at
fan.
me, look at me, look at me. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Ready? Look, I've been a LeBron fan since like
Okay,
2007, right?
right.
Right? That's like the very first basketball player I ever watched was LeBron. And like I was always a Laker fan because my grandfather loved Kobe, you know? So I was always a Laker fan. So then when LeBron joined the Lakers, I was like, nah, man, this is beautiful.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'll let you be a part of it. You can't leave now though.
I'm not leaving.
Because if LeBron say I'm coming to the Knicks, I can't have you being like, oh, and,
But see, then I gotta go to the Knicks. I ain't gonna
okay.
lie.
I, I'm surprised. What you think about since you're from Brooklyn? What you think about Harden being on the Nets right now?
That's great, especially for the city, man. Cause like, hey yo, you know how long New York can have a good basketball team? Like, and I mean, like, they had a good Knicks team like about 10 years ago, but like, not nothing to really win a championship with. Like, this is like the first time in since my dad and them was young that we got a team that could win. But I'm still not a Nets fan. I'm still sticking with LeBron. I got Lakers in 7 still.
Even if they give you the front row seats at Barclays, you still not gonna be a Nets fan when they,
I mean, it's kind of hard because That's hard because I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a Kyrie. You know what it is? I'm a Kyrie fan because of when he was with Cavaliers and with LeBron.
Got you.
I can't forgive KD for what he did though, and 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 I can't go against LeBron. You get what I'm trying to say?
I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
that's the
So
only thing though.
you just respect the greatness.
Yeah.
I got you. So when it comes down to it, man, what are you trying to do in this game? You're in a good division as well, too, 140 right
Yep.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And how you feeling about your future? Where do you see yourself in the next 18 months?
Next 18 months, I'm trying to have a world title, or at least be in line to have one. Because really and truly, I say this all the time. I don't think nobody could really beat me. These next 18 months, I'm gonna try to get as many fights as I can as possible. Try to get my name buzzing more as possible, and just training is all about growing. From my last fight till now, these last couple months, I just been growing. So like the next fight is gonna be a whole nother monster. So
Okay, and you did work in your last fight, man. How did it feel when you knew that you threw the perfect punches and you did your job, everything well done. You were the executioner that night. How did you feel about that?
I feel good. I still felt like there was things that I could have worked on. I like there was some things in the fight that I feel like I could have worked on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my little brother. I just finished running right before I joined. I just finished running. We ran up the
Okay,
hill.
where
But
you at?
oh, we in Long Island right now. We in Wyandanch.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
But
I'm gonna ask you a fun question in a minute though, because I love Brooklyn, bro. I love Brooklyn.
cool.
I've been to New York twice. I went to New York twice last year. Where I was there for the AJ fight and I was there for the Canelo fight as well too.
Mm.
But yeah, I love me some Brooklyn, man. What you call it?
No, it's
Brooklyn,
nice.
Brooklyn felt like home.
Huh?
I said Brooklyn felt like home. I was spending a lot of time in Manhattan. Manhattan's like being at Disney World.
Yeah, Manhattan is like, I mean, there's parts of Manhattan that's like New York, bro, but it's really like Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx. Even Staten Island, we don't really show Staten Island love like that, though. I don't know why, but you feel me?
Well, if you bumping Wu-Tang, you definitely showing Staten Island some love.
Oh, that's
You know
a fact.
that. But half
That
of
is a
Wu-Tang
fact.
is from Brooklyn too, though.
Yeah, some of Wu-Tang is from Brooklyn.
Yeah, Jizza and ODB, them is Brooklyn guys.
Yeah.
All right, man. So real quick, what's your favorite dish over at Junior? Since we talking Brooklyn.
My favorite what?
What's your favorite dish over at Junior? What's your favorite thing to eat over at Junior's Cafe?
Oh, Junior's Cafe? Believe it or not, I've never been.
Yeah.
What part of Brooklyn? What part of Brooklyn is that?
It's Bedford Stuyvesant. It's over right across the street from the college,
Is it
LIU.
Bedside? Nah, I wasn't over. I wasn't over in
Yeah.
Bedside. Like when I was in Brooklyn, I was in like East New York type area. You know, I was closer to like the border of Brooklyn and
Okay. Okay.
Queens. There, yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to get you to juniors though, bro. So if you in New York, I'm in New York. I'm driving you there. Okay.
We
Best
over there.
cheesecake in the world. I thought I was waiting for a cheesecake story from you or something, man. Yeah, it is what it is at
You
the
know
end
we
of
over
the day.
there. Once
But
you out here, you know we over there.
I got you. So you want to keep your training in New York, or are you going to be coming out to Vegas anytime soon? Everybody comes to Vegas eventually.
Hey,
How you think?
cracking up again. It's starting to fuzz up again and stutter again.
Okay. But real quick, but what are you thinking? What are you thinking when it comes to-
Wait, I can't hear you.
Okay. All right, hold on. I know why. Hold on. All right, can you hear me a little bit better now? Cracking up.
Talk again. It's still like fuzzing up a little bit.
Yeah, because I can hear it cracking up too.
Can you hear me, Claire?
All right, is that better?
A little bit.
Okay. All right. So I was asking you. I said, so are you thinking about coming to Vegas anytime soon for training? You know, friends and everything like.
Part of training? Am I going to Vegas for part of training?
Yeah, because a lot of guys come to Vegas, to come out here and work out the craft a little bit. There's a lot of boxers out here to start with and everything like that. So have you thought about that? Because I know you're going to be fighting in Vegas soon as well too.
I can't hear. Oh, never mind. Hold up. Talk again now.
I said that. Is there any chance you might ever have a training camp out in Las Vegas because you're in New York now, but you know that the bubble and everything is out in Vegas, and they might want to have you out there for a couple more fights since you still are a young
Hold up, it's acting up again
and everything like that. And you're okay.
Hold up.
Because all right. So can you hear me a little bit better now?
Try again. It keeps cracking up.
Okay. All right. So is that a little bit better?
Oh, got connect or turn the Bluetooth again so I can hear him. Yeah, I turned on my Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is it still cracking up?
Right now. All right. Talk now.
All right. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, a little better now.
Okay. I was just asking because I know that a lot of prospects come out to Vegas to just work their craft real quick to see what they have. Are you having any plans for that once you touch down in Vegas? Will you be hanging around for a little bit or are you going right back to New York?
You mean like sparring and stuff? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't really have any plans to. I mean, if an opportunity comes up, we'll take it. But most likely, we're going right back to New York, starting up camp all over again. Getting ready for that next fight.
Okay. And I like that attitude right there. Get back to New York, be home, be where you're comfortable at. Who's your top five? Who's your top five Brooklynites, man?
Top five Brooklynites. You gotta have Jay-Z number one.
Okay.
Jay-Z's number one.
Okay.
You got Jay-Z at number one. Yeah, I'm gonna give you rappers basically because that's really the ones who I already know. You got Jay-Z, you got Biggie number two. Michael Jordan's from Brooklyn. A lot of people don't know that. Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn. So I got him number three. Feel me?
Okay.
Let's see. Four, we gotta have Zab Judah. And five, we gotta have Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson was from Brownsville.
Oh, look at you put Zab over Mike.
Nah, I don't got Zab on Mike, but Zab rep Brooklyn more though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right, you right. Which guy? But Mike put Zab on. It was It was crazy. Zab Judah got one of the greatest experiences a boxer could ever get. You get to go to Europe with Mike Tyson for like 6 months and just be on his undercards. That was amazing, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know that? That he was on
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Tyson's
crazy.
tour. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was absolutely nuts. Like no boxer can even like compare to what Mike did on that little trip that he had overseas and everything like that when he was out there. So look that up, man. You'll be like, man, that's pretty crazy when you hear the stories for that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
So
I know that's crazy.
so real quick, I gotta ask you about New York teams. Yankees or the Mets?
Oh, Yankees.
Okay, Yankees. Rangers or the Islanders?
Rangers, the
You what?
Islanders, we're going with the Rangers. Rangers.
Jets or Giants? This is what gets you.
Giants.
This is what gets you in New York. Okay, and see, he didn't even. The boy was born in Queens, and he still don't like the Jets. All right, man. So, any shouts out that you want to send in anybody, man? I really thank you so much for your time and everything like that. Is there anybody that you want to shout out right now?
Yeah, I want to shout out my little brother. I feel like my little brother, watch out for him because right now he's 12 going this year. About 5 more years from now, maybe even earlier than that, he gonna be better than me. He gonna be on his way up to the top on the pro ranks, you know. So,
Okay, so
watch out for my little brother. Shout out Jamali Tucker. That's my little brother right here.
Jamali Tucker.
At no limit.
You guys better be on the lookout. We are some Josh because my first name is actually Jamil, so it's funny Jamali. So it's not hard to. It's not gonna be hard to for me. So I know he gets it. Probably people be going up left and right. I already know.
Oh yeah, only get it popping.
All right. So, man, it was beautiful talking to you. We can't wait to see you fight on February 13th. Man, and hopefully everything works out for you the right way. Your focus seems like it's there and everything like that. And I hope to talk to you soon once again. And it was an absolute pleasure interviewing you today, Jahi. So, thank you so much. This is a Vegas Sports Daily exclusive with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Kappa, and I am gone.